Everybody and their mom wants a luxury SUV. I mean, who doesn't secretly want to roll around like they're in a music video? Truth is, a luxury SUV is a pretty ideal way to get around. I mean, they're comfortable, they're stylish, and some of them are even fast. But not one but two problems. One, they're expensive, and two, a lot of them just aren't very reliable. So today on Idealist, I got you covered. We've handpicked 7 of them. Yeah, that's 7 luxury SUVs that are all actually reliable, and every single one of them you can get for less than 10 grand. Like, subscribe, and let's go. Okay, we're kicking things off with one of the all-time greats. Well, the GOAT. Yes, it's one of the OGs of the segment. It's the SUV that brought luxury to the masses and reminded the world that sometimes us Americans get it right. Because not only is every Escalade ever made lined with leather, is smooth, it's comfortable and luxurious, but they're consistently some of the most powerful and most reliable luxury SUVs on the planet. Why? Well, because underneath it all, it's just a Chevy Silverado. Okay, they're more like Tahoes and Suburbans, but those are basically Chevy 1500s with permanent canopies attached. But what's Trav's take?
We're talking LS-based V8s, rugged 4-wheel drive systems, and beefy body-on-frame construction. It's the official car of rappers, Secret Service people, and bougie soccer moms across the nation.
Okay, seriously though, the Escalade is awesome. And while it might not quite have the material qualities of something from Japan, or be built with exactly the same attention to detail of something from Germany, the Escalade easily holds its own as a total package. That is, as long as you don't have to park it in a compact spot. She thick with 2 C's. Find a solid example like this one for just $9,500. And of course, all these SUVs will be linked down below in the first comment, so go check them out. See if you can find your ideal SUV. I mean, everybody by now knows that Acura is Honda's luxury brand, right? And Honda knows a thing or 3 about making really reliable vehicles. And when Acura launched the MDX back in 2001, it entered into a growing segment of mid-size luxury SUVs. You know, smaller than a Cadillac, but still way taller and more spacious than something like a Civic. The MDX is high class, on a low budget.
And with its 3.7-liter V6 cranking out around 300 horsepower, it's quicker than you might think. It hits 0 to 60 miles an hour in about 7 seconds, which isn't exactly drag race material, but it's more than quick enough to outrun normal people economy cars.
Yes, while there are whiffs of standard issue Honda here and there, especially on the older ones, there is no doubt it's a proper luxury SUV. I mean, these things are
nice.
Prices are all over the place for these guys, so my advice? Get the newest, nicest one that you can afford. But if the goal is 10 grand, check out this 2009 example for right at that 10K budget. Also, if you're enjoying the video so far, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe and turn on that notification bell if you're new. Want a luxurious base truck SUV, but you come from a Ford family? Good news for you, the Lincoln Navigator is here for you. Like the Escalade, these babies are all American, meaning bigger really is better and subtly isn't a word we know the meaning of. Driving one of these beasts is like cruising on a velvet cloud that hums V8 lullabies. It's opulent but muscular, like a pro wrestler in a tuxedo. I'm looking at you, Senna. I mean, this is the brand that built the town car. So a cloud-like ride paired with V8 power is just kind of Lincoln's thing.
It should be noted though, that up until 2015, this did use the Triton V8, an engine that, overall, we aren't the biggest fans of here at Ideal. But problems with that power plant seem nowhere near as common in the Navigator as they do between the fenders of an F-150 or a Ford van.
I don't really know why, but Navigators just got maintained better. Who knows? But what I do know is you can pick up a sweet Navigator for well under our budget, like this one for under 8 grand. Reliability? Cheap? Audi? Okay, hear me out, guys. Not all Q5s are reliable. Yes, that's a fact. But believe it or not, any of them with the 3-liter supercharged V6 really genuinely is. The Q5 is one of the smallest SUVs on this list, but good things come in small packages. At least that's what my wife says.
Look, packages and sizes aside, the 3-liter Q5 punches way above its weight. Coming in with nearly 300 horsepower and quattro all-wheel drive standard, this thing goes down the road more like an S4 than it does a big floaty family hauler.
Luxury? Style? Performance? Of course, it's an Audi. And in this particular case, it's not going to leave you stranded or cost an arm and a leg if it does go wrong. Pretty compelling offer, if you ask me. Go on and get out of here for a smidge over a 10K budget. I know, it is over, but if you can make the stretch, it just might be worth it. The Lexus RX350, where Japanese engineering meets luxury so soft you could just nap in it. It is the complete package. Dependable, it's comfortable, and it's luxuriously sensible.
Let's talk engines. A 3.5-liter V6 pushing out roughly 270 horsepower. It won't win any drag races, but it's as smooth as glass and more dependable than a Swiss watch. We're looking at a 0 to 60 time of around 7.5 seconds. Quick? Maybe not. But it's definitely no slouch.
Plus, it's a Toyota product. The RX350 is like your friend who always remembers your birthday and never flirts with your ex. It just doesn't let you down. Competitors? Well, you have the BMW X5, that's sporty but doesn't have the longevity, and the Acura MDX tries to be the fun uncle, but the RX350 is the dependable parent who also knows how to have a good time. The ride is comfortable, but not completely muted. You won't exactly feel the road, but you won't feel disconnected from it either. If all that sounds like the ideal SUV, check out this one for right around 10 grand. The FX35 is the sporty midsize luxury SUV that nobody saw coming. Even Infiniti. Hot off the heels of the hugely successful launch of the G35, Infiniti somehow hit us with essentially the same car, but with a hatchback and a stance of a scared cat. Under the hood, you get the exact same 3.5-liter VQ V6 as their sports car, which propels you to 60 in a little over 6 seconds, which ain't bad. And with its sport-tuned suspension and aggressive throttle mapping, it's easily one of the most fun to drive cars on this list. And in terms of luxury, the Infiniti can't quite match some of its competitors, especially the early versions, but that doesn't mean it isn't still a very luxurious ride. Get the sports car on stilts with a look all of its own for just $6,500 bucks. And now it's time for the honorable mention. Question for you: what do today's honorable mentions all have in common? Well, because they all come with an asterisk. Yeah, let's start with the Porsche. The Cayenne you'd really want is going to be the second gen with the 4.8-liter V8, and that means you're gonna have a very hard time getting one at or under 10 grand. But we still have to recommend it because if you can stretch your budget just a little bit, you're going to, no joke, get one of the best luxury SUVs ever made at any price. Now, you could go for a first gen, but those aren't nearly as reliable. Or you could opt for the V6, which honestly just isn't that great a match for the weight of one of these things. The second gen with the V8 drives great, looks great, and above all is actually pretty reliable, unlike the other two, the Range Rover and the X5.
But here's the thing. You can find decent examples of either of those for around 5 grand all day. And truth is, if you took that 5 grand you saved and poured it into repairs and maintenance on either of these, they can both be made to be reliable. Those first gen X5s with the inline 6 aren't really that bad, especially after you just replace pretty much everything that goes wrong. Stay away from the 4.4 and 4.8 liter V8 though. And the Range Rover? Find an 06 to 08 supercharged for cheap. Spend the money fixing the air suspension and, well, anything else that goes wrong, and it'll actually be a pretty good car. Or just pick one of the 7 that actually made the list and save yourself the headache. Speaking of which,
all right, let's talk about the Lexus GX, the leather-lined tank that's basically a Land Cruiser Prado wearing a tailored suit. With a 4.6-liter V8 under the hood, pushing around 300 horses, it's no Usain Bolt, but it's got the stamina of Earth's rotation. It's a bit old school, offering a solid truck-like drive with enough luxury amenities to make you forget you could go pretty much anywhere, anytime, in any environment.
it's a Range Rover, but done Toyota's way, which means all the luxury and refinement and power and off-road chops you could ever want, with basically none of the calling the tow truck every week part. Listen, if you're hunting for an under $10,000 luxury SUV that's as reliable as they come, the Lexus GX should be on your shortlist.
And I'd recommend buying the newest, lowest mileage, most original example you could stretch your budget to. But even though it's nearly 20 years old now, this 2004 for 10 grand is still an ideal deal. So which one is the most ideal? Honestly, you can't go wrong with any of these, but I've always kind of wanted an Escalade myself. Anyway, let us know down below which one you would snag, and also let us know which ones you agree or agree to disagree with. Also, if you enjoyed the vid, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. I'm Brad, and check out this Idealist video up here, or whatever YouTube recommends you watch next. Oh, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.